What is up, guys? Welcome back to Average Mics, and today we got some new toys to mess around with. We have some accessories to get wired up, and we're gonna have some fun. So make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back to Average Mic, guys, and today we're gonna be back on this train platform, and we have some new toys. We're gonna get wired up, some accessories. I have the insulated rail. We're gonna get hooked up for our crossing guards, and we have a house here. We have a light on the bridge. Gonna kind of temporarily, the kid's been bugging me, so we're gonna temporarily wire that all up because I do have some plans for this before we make stuff permanent. So, but first, what I'm gonna do is we made some trim pieces along here to finish up the platform. Have some board to kind of block off the bottom so the kids can't get underneath. So we're going to do some time-lapse video showing you what we did there. All right, so we're kind of dual purposing here. I have some wood for the train table, which is these three pieces and this long piece down here that need to be painted, as well as 4 pieces for our Lego table. So if you're watching the Lego table, I'll put the link to the train table video up above. If you're watching the train table video, I will post a link of the Lego table build up above, so you guys don't miss out. You know, if you're watching one, you don't want to miss the other one, right? So we're gonna go ahead, and I got sanding block. Just gonna scuff the edges of these boards. That way they're not as sharp, and then we'll go ahead and paint all this stuff white. First coat is on. I'll go ahead off camera, finish these up, and then we can get to tacking them on. All right, so we have the pieces here for the train table. I actually just tacked one up right there. We got another piece for there, and there. And we'll put those up, and that'll take care of the trim. Excuse the mess, but here we go. All finished up trim. We have some board down there. I didn't show you guys installing. You can't really see too much of it. I didn't show you guys installing that because it was really just a huge mess. Still is a mess. But basically, everything is nailed down except for over here. I just put a couple screws there and there. That way I can take that off, get underneath the platform when the time comes. Any time comes, we're going to constantly need to be able to get to that underneath so that we can drill holes and wire everything correctly once we have everything done. So what I'm going to do is go over some of the things that we have here. We have some accessory insulated track rail. This is going to be used for our crossing guards. And they are, just one of them is right here. I showed you that in the previous video. We're going to try to go ahead and wire this up. Again, temporarily, because you know, things are going to change. I'll get to that at the end of the video, but we have some straight track, we have some curved track here. I did pick up on Amazon, I picked up some wire here, which basically this is just a normal piece of FasTrack, but there's and basically I paid a little bit for this wire. I probably wouldn't do it again, not because the wire is bad, it was just all it is a female clips. You get the right size female clips, because I'm sure I have some heat shrink tubing, and you can make your own wire as long as you want it. So there was no real reason to buy that, other than, you know, maybe you just don't know how to do that. But they do, what's nice is they do kind of just clip on here, and that is your power source, at least for now. I did buy another transformer similar to this one here. This is the transformer for our trolley. You got it, trolley. And similar to this, only because we're gonna have a lot of accessories, and because these Rail King sets kind of have power all the time, there's no way to power things like accessories. The lights you could tap off, just like I am with that, and just, you know, when the train is on this track is plugged in to the wall, those lights would be on, and that's fine. But when it comes to insulated track and accessories to work, yeah, it's just better, especially if you have a lot. It's just better to have a transformer that you can just set the power on. It's always on, and when it's plugged into the wall, it works, and when it's not, it's not. And then you have the insulated rails that kind of switch on the accessories. It also is very much needed if you just have trains that use transformers rather than just the Rail King remotes, because the power from this transformer obviously goes up and down with the train, and you want constant power to your accessories. So, so what we're gonna do first is, I had planned to, until that transformer comes in, we're just gonna steal the power from this track. We're gonna actually hook it to the track, the Rail King track. That way there's power all the time when that's plugged in. And then we will run this wire to the lights. We're gonna do house light, bridge light. This has 3 wires. It has power, ground, and a ground trigger wire. So when, you know, when that track hits the insulated part, it'll trigger the gate to go down. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start kind of wiring these things up and see how we do. And also I'm going to start using some of this other track just to kind of temporarily, again, kind of make this trolley track a little bit longer. We can kind of go back here a little bit, and not much room, and that's kind of why I'm changing. I always had this idea, but we're gonna have to put it in full effect. So yeah, so let's get some of this stuff wired up, and we'll see how it looks. So first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and place this piece of track in. Just gonna replace this piece with this piece. That way we have this wire, and that'll be our starting ground for our power. And then I have some extra wire. It's, again, temporary. I'm gonna have to buy some wire that's kind of like speaker wire. Let's see what they have, where it's kind of, you know, kind of like this, where it's together. Makes it easier to run. There's no need for 2 separate wires, but right now this is all I got. And yeah, we'll just start messing with some stuff here. Okay, so while you watch my son play here, I kind of set myself up. We have both railroad crossings wires. These wires are super thin. I don't understand why they do that. You got like 2 or 3 strands in there. It's awful. But they're stripped down. I have my wire stripped down for the power and ground from this track. I have a little piece to connect from here to there. Now they don't, of course, sell it with this, but they do have connectors to connect into here. It kind of wires it all exactly for you. But we don't have that right now. Maybe something I consider purchasing, depends on how much it is. But for now, what I'm going to do is on the insulated side, whichever one I determined that one to be, which I think they want it to be that white one there. We'll just attach a wire here to that as well. Might actually pick off what's there and then attach ours to it. Yeah. And then We'll attach our wire to it, connect the yellow wires to both the yellow wires to this. The black and the red will go to our power and our ground, and then we have wires for the light there, and the wire for the house will be long enough to come over to here. So our junction will be here, and again, it's going to be all temporary. The plan now is to, once we have our new transformer, I may put it somewhere over here, and we will run a bus bar with wire, basically have junctions underneath to kind of limit travel for wire. So if I put an accessory over here, I can just run it to the bus bar that's mounted underneath the platform, and that way I don't have to run it all the way back to the transformer. This seems like the best way to go. So, but again, I don't have any of that stuff right now. So for now, I'm just going to kind of twist these all up just to get it working. We'll tape it up with some electrical tape, and this guy will be happy, right? Yeah, he's been bugging me. Anybody has kids, especially, how old are you? 5. Yeah, you're 5, and you will be 6 soon, but 5-year-olds, they have no patience. So we're gonna wire this up so he stops bugging, and then we'll do it right once we have all the parts. So let's go ahead and start kind of putting this stuff all together. They have this wire soldered on, which is good, but I was able to get a little piece of wire exposed there, and I kind of wrapped this around it. Again, should be good for now. And then what I'll do is this will route underneath here and be able to connect to these guys. So let's connect this up to the track. We have our bridge light wired, extended to here. This is where all of our connections, temporary connections, are. Notice I keep saying the word temporary because I know it doesn't look great, but it is temporary. And basically these wires are so thin, like they must sell something to, I don't know, I'm not sure, but they should be ashamed of themselves for how thin these wires are. It's hard even to make a good connection. I'm not even sure how they run on them, to be honest with you. But so these are set up. We're ran back to this power here. So when I turn the power for this track on, everything should light up, but these gates will not, because in theory their trigger is this track. So let's go ahead and see how that works out. So let's go ahead and take this transformer for the trolley. We'll wire that up to the track here. We'll get some power to that. We'll get some power to this track, and then we'll see what we got. So we got powered up this track here. We got lights. We got a light over there. House looks pretty cool. And we powered up our transformer here. And no, you stay down. And let's see if we can get these rail gates to go. They really should be in the up position. Somebody pushed them down. I wonder who that was. Alright, let's go to the world. Let's put these back up. If everything works the way it should, we got a green light on our transformer. Did we get a green light on this trolley? No. Is the trolley on there, right?
I don't see any blue.
I ain't working. Guys, these train rails here have definitely thrown me for a loop, but one part was just stupid on my end. Basically, because we were splitting the ground, they weren't working. So, meaning The trigger ground was off the power of this transformer, and then the regular power was off of this guy, and I guess I should have known that that wasn't going to work. So I moved power and ground to these guys from the transformer here. And granted, this transformer has to be turned on in order for them to work, and that's not really how I want it. I want it to run off of accessory power, and I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just going to have to, figure that out, which is fine. But the trigger wire is ran off of the insulated rail, and I don't know if you guys know what the insulated rail means, but basically, if you see here, there's a gap on this small little track that came with this. There's a gap on this one as well, which basically makes it so that the ground is ran on both edges, both sides, and then the power's in the middle. So when it gets to here, that gap stops the track ground for this rail, and basically the ground from the train on this has wheels on this side and on this side, which connects the rail. So when it passes this gap here, it then it grounds out this rail, which triggers this to turn on. All right, and then the fact that these are 3-wire makes it so that these trigger, and it has a ground still to complete. Instead of like old days, it basically as the train went by, you would hit this ground, the crossing gate would activate, and then as soon as it left that insulated track here on this other gap, these would shut off. Well, having it 3-wire makes it so that it can be a time delay. Basically, this just triggers it, and then after a certain amount of time, it'll trigger it back to open back up. Not necessarily when it hits or when it stops supplying ground to this track. So the problem I'm still having is that, if you can tell, I turned the power on to this transformer. These are constantly on, no matter where the train is. And I think I know why. And this guy, for whatever reason, is messing up. If I turn it off, turn it back on, it acts normal, but then it freaks out, and it never operates the train or the gate mechanism, whereas this one has the gate down. So I have to take a look at that. But I think I know what my problem is. And to be honest with you, I think it's a flaw in the product. I don't think it's supposed to be here, but let me set you up here, and I'll take this off. And basically my problem here, I'll pull up another piece. This is a normal piece of track, and this bus bar here. So the power from the transformer on the power wire is only on one, the ground on the transformer where it connects to only connects to the one side ground, and then every piece of track has this bus bar that goes across and grounds out the other side of the track. Well, if this is truly an insulated rail, that should not be there, right? So, and that's why my rails are working, and that is because this bus bar is supplying the ground from the one side to the other, and it's no longer insulated. So I'm not sure, that just can't be right with this piece of track. So what I'm going to do is take out this, bend these up, and pull this bus bar out and see if that solves my problem. And then if it does, then great. I don't know why it's there. I looked in the instruction book. I don't see why that would be. It doesn't show this there, but the diagrams are a little vague, but it doesn't show that that's supposed to be there. I'm guessing that I really don't know. I don't know why it's there. But let's go ahead and take this off and we'll see if that fixes our problem. Just like that, we have removed that piece. Here it is here. So let's go ahead, slap this sucker back in. Real quick, 1, 2. Okay. Connect our wire back up. Alright, now let's see. We supply power. Well, that's a good sign. So power came back, this gate went up. So let's see as it crosses over very slowly. Let's see if it triggers it. There we go. See that? As it goes by, gate goes down, and then after a time delay, gate goes up. That's exactly how it should work. So that bus bar was absolutely the problem. And I still don't know what is up with this. Maybe it's just a poor connection. I don't think so though. Yeah, so we'll have to play around with it. I don't know. That could be anything. When I go to do the, this will be good for now. When I go to do the complete good installation of this, we'll go ahead and test this out with the, directly to the transformer and see if we can get better results. Might have to get taken apart. I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is here. All right, we got everything taped up. Let's just make sure it works still. Go ahead, buddy. Give it a whirl. All right. Same as before, which is what I was expecting. We'll have to look into the other one, but we got the trolley going. You happy? You got crossing guards now? All right, cool. All right, so let's quick talk about what's next on the what's next we have for the next video here. So I do 100% plan on bringing up even maybe 2 tiers. So another level MDF board, we'll cut that out, and then maybe even a 3rd level. Probably definitely a 3rd level here. Just 1 level here. Probably won't do 3 levels here, and then another level over here as well. I think this outside line is going to come around and go back on the 2nd level, and this track will all be elevated instead of using the trestles up and down. The whole thing will be elevated, and we'll use these switches to switch back and forth, and then underneath we'll build another track that'll stay completely on the ground, and then we'll have the trolley as well. And somewhere along the line, I'd like to use our little X piece here, just because we have it. I have some more track. We'll see. Oh, what are you stuck? Yeah, try now. There you go. Cool. The plan is to really keep working on this. I also actually we bought the transformer, so that's coming. I'm going to buy the buses, like I said, to kind of hook the wiring up all underneath, and then we should have a final layout for the tracks, and then we can start actually wiring everything up. I actually have it now. It's the mountain paperish look for the different levels, but we gotta get those built. I'm also thinking about having Ryan help me with making our own trestles to keep the whole top track elevated. I have some 1x, actually this trim wood. Be cool to, like, jigsaw out some tunnels and trestles and see what we can do on our own to something different, and then he can paint them and stuff. Be cool for him. So we'll take a look at that. Buses, levels, and then maybe even some arts and crafts. So till then, if you guys like what you saw, please go ahead and hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you want to catch the next one. Turn on your post notifications. That way it'll notify you when I post out a new video. We have other projects as well that we can run in tandem with all this other stuff. So if you don't want to miss out on these, make sure you are subscribed and you turn on those post notifications. Comment below if you want to see something. If you know something that I don't know. Obviously, I've worked on trains before. I've worked on big platforms. So I have some knowledge, but not with this FasTrack stuff and newer stuff, I guess. But yeah, any ideas, anything that could maybe save us some money, or stuff like that. Yeah, so if you have any ideas, please comment below. If you have some of your own layouts, you can send them over. That'd be cool to maybe give me some ideas. You can send them over to averagemic.channel@gmail.com, and I'll check them out and email you back. We can chit chat or whatever. So all right, so that's basically it. Until then, I guess I will catch you guys next time. Later.